Paris is the city of love, the Eiffel Tower, and the city of honeymoons. But underneath all of that romance lies a massive underground grave of death. Over 6 million people are buried there, and that's more than the entire population of Denmark. So how exactly did this happen? Back in the 1700s, Paris had a bit of a problem with dead bodies. And by bit, I mean bodies were literally spilling out of cemeteries. The biggest offender was Les Innocents, one of the oldest cemeteries in the city, and the most overcrowded. It got so full that the ground could literally no longer contain the dead. Things got so bad that locals complained of horrible smells coming out of the cemetery, which meant Paris needed a solution, and fast. Now, beneath the city was something unusual, a sprawling network of abandoned limestone quarries. These tunnels had been carved out centuries earlier to help build the very city that was now being overrun by its dead. The tunnels stretched for miles underneath the streets of Paris, and they lay empty, dark, and mostly forgotten, until someone had a very French idea. What if we just moved the bodies down there? It wasn't exactly elegant, but it was efficient. And in December of 1785, the city began transferring the remains from the overflowing cemeteries into the tunnels below. But this wasn't just a mass dumping ground of bones. The bones were actually arranged with care, and in many cases, even with artistic flair. This operation went on for many years, and walkers would wait until nightfall, cart piles of bones through the streets of Paris like it was just another Tuesday, and take them to the underground tunnels. Over time, they moved the remains of more than 6 million people, with some of them dating back to the Middle Ages, into this underground tunnel system. And eventually, someone had another bright idea. What if we let people visit? In the 1800s, the catacombs were open for public tours, and since then, they've become one of Paris's most bizarre attractions, equal parts creepy and fascinating. But here's the thing. Most of the tunnels are actually off-limits. The public section is just a tiny fraction, but the rest of it is forbidden to tourists, and that's because there's the real risk of getting lost. In fact, one man did exactly that in 1793. His name was Philippe Asper, and he wandered into the catacombs with just a candle, got lost, and never came back out. His body was found 11 years later, just a few feet from an exit. And today, his grave marker sits deep in the restricted and forbidden zone, a silent reminder that the tunnels don't always forget carelessness. Now, beyond the mystery and modern-day tourism, the catacombs actually tell a bigger story. It's about how cities grow, how they adapt, and how they handle the one thing that comes for everyone: death. Paris faced a huge problem with overflowing cemeteries, and it reinvented itself, cleaning up the city and creating the catacombs, probably one of the most unique underground features of any city in the world. So Paris didn't just bury its past, it turned it into art, into architecture, into something that is oddly beautiful. So the next time you think of Paris, don't just picture the Eiffel Tower. Remember what's underneath as well. Because as it turns out, the city of love is also the city of death. And if you want to watch another video about another weird France oddity, then watch this next one about how France actually has the most time zones in the world. See you in the next one.